I'm gonna mute everybody real quick. If you guys could mute yourselves, that would be helpful too. Cheryl's right, you guys are good. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and I am going to kick it over to Stacy, who's going to be our MC for tonight.
I'm just waiting for your screen. I see you, Tara. We love you. Oh, God. It's just never ending. I think I might have to change locations because this might not be a good location.
All right, can you guys see that?
Yeah. All right, I gotta move. This will never work. Can you let the dog out? Help, please?
All right, Stace, whenever you're ready.
Okay, well, welcome back to week 2. I have seen a lot of hustling going on, and it pushes me to be my best self and just help more and more people every single day. This has been a big month for a lot of coaches, really coming out of your comfort zones, really believing in what we stand for, our products, our community, and we are just pushing for the stars. There is no cap to what we can accomplish. So for those of you who are back for week 2, I commend you. I really, really do, for putting your business first. So I am going to start off with, you want to change the slide? So I don't know who's speaking first. Okay. Oh, so let's talk about, the first thing we're going to talk about is the wins for the week. Anyone who has a win, big, small, maybe you signed a coach, maybe you got yourself to Emerald, maybe it's the first time you ever hit Success Club, maybe you went live, maybe you spoke on your stories. Whatever you did that got you a little bit out of that box that you were living in, share it with us because we want to celebrate you. So with that being said, I'm going to give us 5 or 10 minutes and unmute yourself and speak because we'd love to hear you.
I posted consistently for 2 days and with my little helper, and posted my food, which I have never consistently done before. Like every single meal, everything that's gone in my mouth, I've posted.
Thank you, Joanne.
I have started building my husband up. He has 6 share carts currently out.
Miss Amanda is 3 coaches away. Well, I should say an emerald and a half away from diamond. So that's really, really exciting for her. And her consistency, if you don't follow her, follow her. Her posts are real and raw, and she is consistent. She is the one that posts her tracker every single day in our message thread. So I'm really proud of you, girl. Who else can celebrate? Share with us.
I've been talking on my stories lately every single day, and I've been doing my power hours Monday through Friday.
That's great. That's great. That's going to move your business forward. Anybody else?
I got my emerald rank back. It'll be back.
Yay.
So.
Yay, that means cycling. That means leads.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
and
awesome.
I should cycle at least twice too, so that's exciting.
Good. Good. Anybody else? How about your own personal journeys? Sticking to a workout program, finished a workout program, being on track with your nutrition. Anybody? Anyone finish and complete all of 10 rounds? Yeah.
I'll finish up tomorrow.
Okay, that's great. You know, it's so important that and I've learned this the hard way. Many of you who know me for years know that I struggled with being a consistent product of the product, and it's huge for our business and huge for our own personal growth and self-esteem as well, and health. So if you have just completed 10 rounds or are about to, yay for you. How about bar? Anyone do the work and completed it? That's a beast of a program. Cindy, you did?
I didn't do the work. I completed bar and I got the best core and ab results out of any program that I've ever done. Because I can't do, you know, the like real sit-ups and stuff like that because I broke my neck. But the best program, I just started again on Monday with the group. So if anyone hasn't completed it, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it was really
your jam.
It was my jam.
That is great. That's great. Yeah, I hear a lot of great results from bar. It must tone you, but good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, is there anybody else that I would like to shout out? Tammy.
I just unmuted myself.
Oh, good. Okay, go ahead.
So one, on the personal level, I started the work this morning when that program came out. When I heard about it at Summit last year, I was like, no way, not going to even attempt it. But then also after being a discount coach for 4 years, I have finally filled out a tracker consistently for the last 10 days.
Yay.
So I think that's the first ever. That's the longest streak. Now, I haven't had any sales in those 10 days, but I can say by building or trying to like comment on other people's stuff, my viewers on my stories have doubled in the last 10 days.
Mm-hmm. Planting those seeds.
That's right.
Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else?
I just signed my first coach. Like,
Yay!
just now got the confirmation.
Oh, congratulations. That's always such a great feeling.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Great start. Anybody else? Okay, so then I'm going to move on. If we can
I
get
got to
back.
shout out Melissa real quick for hitting
Yeah.
Success Club 10 in her business. And what are you at, 4 in your hubbies?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I can't work the computer. 10 in mine, 2 in my hubby, and I'm signing one up right now.
And guess what? You know, I know there's a lot of power hours throughout the day, so much opportunity to help us work our business. I have been on one at 8 a.m. and Melissa's been right there along with us every day. So there you have it.
And I need to shout out my whole team that's on this call. The girls that are in this team show up every single day to those power hours, every single day to our Zoom workouts. Melissa is now started another one with girls that are with her. So we've got 2 Zoom workouts going on and people are showing up, which is making me show up. So this group, it doesn't matter if you are a brand new coach or if you've been coaching like me for 4.5 years, this is inspiring for all of us. So like what we're doing is like infectious. So I love it. Yay. Go us.
Yeah. Okay, so if we can go back to the slideshow. I believe that I saw the first thing we're going to talk about is upselling. We've gotten a lot of questions. How do you upsell? And what do I mean when I say upselling? Upselling is basically adding on to whatever it is that they have committed to. So let's say they commit to a challenge pack. Okay, so they get their annual on demand and they get either their Shakeology or the performance line. Well, we have to not forget about all our other amazing products. And by upselling, not only are you gaining more commission, you're gaining more volume points, more team volume, everybody's gonna cycle more. So how do I upsell? How do I upsell? Well, for a while, I'll be honest, sometimes I was nervous because I said, I don't wanna push my luck. I don't wanna push the envelope. You know, what happens if they think I'm just trying to be salesy? And finally, I know what I use myself every day. So you guys know what you use every day. What can you not live without? I know that I cannot live without my Energize. I know that my Beach Bars are in my glove box. When I was packing lunches for my kids, they were in their lunch box. I'll crumble it on top of yogurt. I'll dip it in coffee. I use it daily. Collagen, okay? If you're age appropriate, I will say, I put it in my shake every day. It's just another scoop. You know what? We need to combat the wrinkles and combat the aging process. So if it's appropriate, I bring that in. And we're going to be getting that Bevy tea for the appetite suppressant. That is going to fly off the shelves because everybody wants a piece of that. I mean, these are things that you should not be afraid to talk about, especially if you use them. It should make it so much easier for you. So I have a graphic. First I'll say it within the conversation, I'll say, hey, before I send you this link, I really think you might want to try these Beach Bars, depending on her situation. And if we have spoken and she said, I'm always in a rush, I'm always on the go, I'm driving home from work and I'm starving, or I don't know what to do between, after dinner and then bedtime. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? She should try the Beach Bars. And then I will bring that up and the reasons why the Beach Bars help me. As far as Energize, let's say they went with the Shakeology Challenge Pack. I'll bring up the Energize, and we all know who doesn't use Energize. If you don't use Energize, it's because you probably have like a heart issue or something. You don't want to like rock the boat. But otherwise, we use it. What does it do for you? How does it help you through your workouts? How can it get you through? If I'm talking to someone who's a mom and she's tired and she's just complaining and she's dragging, listen, girl, not only do I use Energize for my workouts, but sometimes I'll have a second dose and I'll do that at 3:00 in the afternoon, right before those kids get off the bus, talking about, when things were normal. And even now, especially, you're home with them all day. Dear God, to make it through, you might want to try some Energize. So these are absolutely appropriate items to offer to people. Don't be afraid. Also, our nutritional programs. We have Ultimate Portion Fix and we have To Be Mindset. Now, if they get a challenge pack, you can add that on, I think for like $47, if I'm not mistaken, about, give or take. That is a steal. It is not an annual membership. They have that for life. They can always refer back to it. They can always review the videos. They can always look at the recipes. They don't have to get the monthly membership for it. But the actual program itself is really a great nutrition tool because we all know that 90% of results are in the kitchen, period. So that's another thing. Always try to upsell that the nutrition plan. So my point is, never just close on a challenge pack. Never just close. If they're spending the $160 on a challenge pack, the likelihood of them adding something on is pretty good. It really is pretty good. And guess what? And I always tell them, you're most likely you're going to get 10% off or free shipping, because when you do your share a cart and they add it in, or I add it in, it usually comes up either 10% or free shipping or some sort of, small special. So that's another incentive for people to try it out. But the more you talk about what it does for you personally and how it's changing your life and how it helps keep you on track, the better chance you will have of selling it to them. Do not look at it as you're salesy. You look at it as it's just something else to help them. Okay, so I'm good. I don't know what's next. So I don't know who's next. But does anybody have any questions about that or any concerns? I can post the graphic that I'll send to them, because I'll say to them, hey, do you want to try XYZ? And they'll be like, well, how much? And then I'll send them a graphic that shows pretty much, it has Beach Bars, it has the 3-day refresh. I'll always try to upsell that. I'm like, listen, do you want to kickstart? Do you need to, this will get your mind straight. and this will prepare you, to really go full speed ahead. We have that 3-day refresh push. I sold 9 3-day refreshes this week, or in the past 10 days. And I've been asked several times, well, what do you say when somebody says, well, I'm interested? I make it very simple. I will say, it's 3 days, it's real food, it comes with a recipe book, it's super easy, it'll get your mind right, you'll drop 3 to 5 pounds, and it's a great way to just start and reset your mind. And they'll be like, how much? And then I'll send them the graphic with the price. I don't think it's 10% anymore, but it was 10%. You could always add that onto a challenge pack as well, and it will also be I would say 95% of the time on sale when you add it on. From interest to close. Okay, who's taking that? Was it Sarah?
It's me.
Okay.
All right. So we've had some questions about what do you do? You've done your invite. Now what do I say to them? I don't want to word vomit on them. I don't know how to lead them through a conversation to get them to actually sign up with me. So I'm going to cover that a little bit, because you don't want to just spew on them, right? You don't just want to, you get all excited. Ooh, I got somebody interested, blah, So less is more, in my opinion. The less talking you do and the more talking they do is better. You want to find out their needs. So right off the bat, the minute they tell me that they're interested, share more about it, I start asking questions about them. I ask them what their goals are. I ask them what is working for them, what isn't working for them, what have they tried in the past. That way you kind of have somewhere to lead them from there. Ask them what they struggle with. Ask them how their nutrition is. I mean, that's a huge thing. Most of us, I'd probably say 99% of us struggle with nutrition. What kind of workouts do they like? Do they have restrictions? All those type of things you want to find out before you mention anything about a program. You don't want to give them something, you don't want to say, oh, I recommend the work, and they have restrictions where they can't lift anything. You want to definitely be able to tailor their sign-up package to them. And it might just be Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology, but you want to lead them in the direction of a program with that. If it's not 10 rounds or whatever's on sale for the month, if they're just getting the on demand, you want to be able to say, okay, I think bar is perfect for you because you need that low impact option, or whatever that may be. And the more you can advise them in that sense and give them reasons of why it's going to be good for them, the more they're going to see the value in it, the more they're going to respect your, what you're recommending, because they see what you mean. They understand you, you listen to them, you've built trust. You have to build that, the trust. You have to build the relationship between the two of you as you go back and forth. Some people will use forms, which is great, but to me, honestly, I like to have that conversation and really hear what they have to say and what they struggle with, and how, what they have tried in the past and what has worked for them. Because people will spill their guts to you once you start asking questions. And once you know enough about them, you really can lead them to the best options and then build that value. And when they see that value, that's when they're going to sign up and say yes. And that's when they're going to trust you. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys have questions about that, I can answer more, but I'm not long-winded. All right. Who is taking relationships?
I can do relationships.
Go for it.
Okay, sorry. My husband's calling me. It's just like, this doesn't end. So anyways, one of the biggest things about this business, you guys, is building the relationships. And so planting seeds and really, even if you feel like you're speaking to nobody and continuing to kind of show up every single day is literally one of the most important things you can do in this business. I know when I first started, I would like post, I'm doing all these things, nobody's responding, and I'm reaching out to people, still nobody's responding, sending birthday messages, all that stuff, and it feels like you're literally talking to nobody, and then it switches. And so it takes people a while to be able to kind of trust you. So just because they're not responding right away doesn't mean that you're not planting that seed for a further conversation. Daily birthday messages. I know I post about this a little bit and I talked about it, I'm pretty sure, in this thread, if not another one. Birthday messages are huge. And so literally Melissa Clone, who's on this call, I wished her a happy birthday. I don't even think she responded. And I was like, cool, like whatever, you know, like nobody responds, right? Like typically people don't respond. Then all of a sudden out of nowhere, like a year later, she decided she wanted to be an all-in coach. And so those birthday messages, just taking that extra little bit out of your life to wish somebody a nice comment, literally can change your business. And so, you know, that then puts your stuff into their feed as well. So once you start that, it just helps building that conversation and just making sure that people think that they know that you're there for them and that you actually care versus trying to sell them something. Sorting into collections and coming back and continuing to build. So this is really important too. Instagram, you guys can go ahead and save things on collections. I am not rocking Instagram. I'm going to be completely transparent. I am rocking Facebook and have been for 4 years. Even when everybody went to Instagram, Facebook's my jam. But doesn't mean that I'm going to quit on it. So I've been slowly over the last several weeks creating collections on Instagram. You guys can do that by putting a little tab on the bottom of pictures, and we can talk about that in the thread if you guys have questions about that. But starting to really pay attention to who you want on your team, and then start hanging out with those people and being their friends. Like if somebody seems super creepy or like in a clown mask, like delete them. You don't have to be friends with everybody. Just be friends with people that you actually like legit would want to hang out with, and just be social, like love up your life, like be super positive. Like right now, when you look through social media, especially Facebook, there's a lot of negative people, where we're those people that are being positive and spreading love and joy. So continue to be those people.
That was great, Amy. Does anybody have any questions before we move on? Okay, who's doing tracker? Was it Kelly?
No, but I can do it.
Okay.
I have no problem with it. All right, so tracking is super important for many reasons. I posted, and if you guys need a tracker that you don't have, let me know. I have a bunch of different trackers, and I think it's super important to just find one that works for you. So you want to be checking off every single day, because it becomes, I think I talked about it last week too, it just becomes so clear to see what you need to improve on or what you didn't get done and what you need to get done. So as I was crossing off my tracker today and yesterday, because I was all over the place, I can go back later and say, oh, I need to, follow up with a couple people or whatever it is. So it's super important to pick a tracker that works for you. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Pick one that works for you. So if it's the yellow one, use that one. I have a Josh Coates one that I've been using. There's a Beachbody one. There's a bunch of other ones that have been posting in the team page. Another thing is some of you are using either notebooks or Streak or what's the other one? I can't think of it right now. But whatever works for you, use it. So I have used everything under the sun. I've used Streak. I've used the other one that I can't think of right now, but I'm back to my notebook. And what I do is I'm going to grab it quick. I actually separate it with little tabs. It's the teacher in me. So I have a section that says, follow-ups. I have a section of people I have invited. I have a section where, I'm just kind of talking with, or building relationships with. And then I have a section of people that might not be ready now. Maybe they said no, and, have for the future. So I'll put months on that as well. And good night. This is going to be 8 tomorrow. This is his birthday. So, like I said, it's super important to track. Just find a way that works for you. And if anyone ever wants to see what my notebook looks like, I'm very happy to share it. But it's definitely something I see a trend in, that the weeks that I track are the weeks that I'm more successful than the weeks that I'm not tracking.
I'm just going to jump in. In 2020, I started doing, so I was always a paper person, and I feel like, again, I'm a teacher, it works for me, but I was finding that a lot of things were getting lost. So in 2020, I just decided to make like a Google Sheets. It's like spreadsheets. And I have March, like January reach outs, February reach outs. And then I date when I talk to them, and it makes following up super easy, because I've been putting like no answer or already has a coach or whatever. So and all I've been doing when we do our follow-ups is like clicking. I actually start March and go backwards, just because I feel like the most recent people probably I should follow up with now. But it's been super helpful, and it's not like I have to put in effort, because that's not how I function typically, but it has definitely saved time in the long run. And I have everybody there, which is really new. And even if I just put like love, like they watch my story, I want to get to know them. So I just put, love rather than invite or whatever. And then I have a section for recruits.
Okay, so now we want to open it up to you guys, and we would love, if you have any questions, we are here to answer them. So unmute yourself, ask away, because guess what? If you have the question, I bet you some other people might have the same question, so don't be shy.
I've got a question. I've already asked Stacy this, so she can't answer. No, I'm just kidding. So I track who I send invites to. So I've got just a calendar that I write down by the day, right, of who I send invites to, or like a love on my story. Do you want any more info? But how do you guys track, like once you send out the friend request, say on Facebook, and you get that acceptance back, how are you guys tracking those people to try to make sure that you're commenting on their stuff to make sure that they're seeing your stuff? Because I feel like I've added a bunch of people, but like I don't see them interacting or even see their stuff on my page.
I can go to Facebook, and if it's on Facebook, I'll go to my new friends. And for Facebook, since I haven't been adding as many, I've been doing more on Instagram. For Facebook, I'll write down their names and just kind of show love on their page, see if they're, someone that might be interested, or someone that's like my people that I can kind of connect with. And on Instagram, I've been using the things that Amy was just talking about. I can't think of things. The folders on Instagram. What are they called?
The collections.
Thank you. The collections on Instagram. Yep. So I'll do here. I can show you. So I'll do. Of course, my thing is not loading. My collections on Instagram. So I'll write, if I'm talking to them in April, I'll put them down as like May potential customer, and I'll love up on them for a while, check to see how they are. I won't invite them this month. So if I'm connecting with them this month, then next month might be I invite them. And I have a collection for future coaches, someone that I think I might want to invite in the future. So on Instagram, I use the collections. On Facebook, I'll kind of keep track of, new people.
Okay.
Also, Tammy, on both Facebook, and I think that's, Kelly, I think that's what you said. You can sort by latest follow. And if you go to Instagram, if you want to click followers, following, and then it gives you the option to sort latest. So like anybody
Okay.
that you are friending or finding, you know, when you're expanding your network, if you do it that way, you can go to them because they're new to you and start liking your posts, commenting on their stories or whatever. And then they'll start showing up and also you will too.
Okay. So how
You
far
can
back,
sort
like
it.
on the new ones in Facebook, do you guys go?
I go as if I haven't talked to them. Like I just keep
Okay.
going until I haven't, like if they're that to me, if they're that new, I just go until I haven't, you know, reached out at all.
Yeah, I don't write down any
Thanks.
names of the people that I friend request on Facebook. I'll literally just go back to what Brittany was just saying, that list, go from the newest and just go down when I'm spending that time of building and loving on people.
Okay. That's the same thing Stacy told me. I just didn't know if people were actually like paper tracking it or not.
I did forever, and it was the biggest waste of time.
I was going to say, don't overcomplicate.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm
The
trying
only
not
name
to.
I write down is people who are interested in coaching or a challenge group.
Right.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
I don't
How are
have a
you?
but I just wanted to share something that I don't know why I never thought about it before, but when at the end of the month, when everyone's, you know, well, when a lot of us are racing for Success Club, and you're going back through that paper chase, and it's, you know, you're looking for, you know, your yellow highlighted names, which is such a waste of time. The memories that come up, you know, from post a year ago, what I've been finding that I've been having really great success with is going to my posts that are showing, that are like, you know, well, actually any of the posts, but usually I was looking for things that were about a transformation or about my nutrition or anything like that, and seeing like all of the people that had commented or who had just liked, and you would be amazed at the number of people that I was saying to myself, oh yeah, I used to talk to her all the time. And then I would go back and look at her and say, you know, I was supposed to follow up with her in like a month or 2 months, and I never did, because that's the kind of brain I have. But so this is like a really good tool. You know, you have all these names of people that, you know, you might have just like forgotten about. And then like, if you don't reach out to them, you know how people are, they're not going to, you know, jump to you just because you might have a good post or something. So just a little something, you know, tomorrow's the 30th, and, you know, if anyone else is on the struggle bus, I'm right there with you.
And Cindy, with that, to kind of add, what I've noticed over time is like for a long time, every time somebody would ignore me or say no, I was like, oh my God, they hate me. Like they totally don't feel comfortable. It's not about me. It's not about us. It's about them and where they're at in their stage. Like, I know I shared this in the Dream Again page, but a girl I've been talking to about coaching for like 4 years on and off finally decided to sign up the same time she was filling out her unemployment for COVID. So it's not us, it's when they're ready. And so we just have to remember that. And when you're tracking, like keeping those lists are so important, because keep checking in with them. Again, they may say no or they may ghost you. They're watching still, you know? So I think that that's so important, like such a good point.
Agreed. Anything
Amy,
else?
talk to us about your thing. We meant to bring this up earlier.
Oh, Amy.
Yes, I will. I'm trying to compete with Leah, my son, and whatever he's watching on TV for entertainment. But yeah, so I got this idea from Megan Wadsworth. She talked about this in that thread. And so she's been rocking her business. We all know that, right? Like totally rocking it. And Sarah Davis Kelly and I have been kind of doing a coaching sneak peek for a while. And since COVID, kind of putting stuff in there. Coaching sneak peeks for me, since I started my business, I have never found a lot of success in them. I've signed up a couple coaches here and there. However, I feel like that's how I was taught. So we run these coaching sneak peeks. Do I want to get rid of that? No. I think that that does help some people, but I also think we need to be aware that everybody has different learning styles. So Megan was talking about how she had done this like live Zoom business presentation. And I'm like, and I've heard about this. I don't do business presentations. I rarely pick up the phone. It's not in my comfort zone. But again, it's not about me, right? It's about learning and doing something that's working. And when you hear somebody that does something, it doesn't mean that you have to take action, but maybe if it speaks to you for whatever reason, go with it. And so I reached out to her on Friday, or Saturday, whatever. We were making hoodies for my new diamonds that are hopefully going to be happening really soon. And so I reached out to her. I was like, because I'm like, oh, I wonder what she did. Well, I asked. So again, if you guys see something and you have a question, we're a community. So ask somebody. So I asked her, like, what are you doing? And she's like, I did a live Zoom, but and she talks about this in the Dream Again page also. And she's like, I did this live Zoom. That wasn't where the magic was. The magic was in the inviting. It forced her to invite. And so I decided to take it. She did it with all people that were brand new. She didn't include her coaches. I kind of thought through it and I'm like, well, my team is in this group really wanting to move their businesses too. I'm like, how can I tweak that to be more what I want to do? And so I reached out to my girls. I'm like, hey, this is what Megan did. I'm wanting to take that to a different level. What if we were to do that and do that like collectively together? And so super, super scared. As of Monday night, I had not invited one person to it, which I was completely transparent with my girls. But then I was like, well, shit, if I'm going to run this, I have to freaking invite, right? And so I ended up inviting like 80 people to this call. Mariah on my team invited 100. Melissa started inviting. Courtney was invited. We all started inviting to come to this thing. Well, then yesterday I was like, well, shoot, I now have to create a PowerPoint. But again, got uncomfortable, did this, came on this call tonight. We had 9 people on. A lot were coaches, but again, a lot of people also want to watch the recording. I'm happy to share the PowerPoint that I did, but I was sweating the entire time. I was super, super scared. From the moment I've started my business until today, I don't always feel like a leader, but one thing I can say, I'm switching it. I have been over the last several weeks, but if you are a brand new coach as of yesterday, or if you've been coaching for 4 years, you have to act like a fucking boss. Excuse my language, but like that is like when things change. And I feel like tonight, when like this week, thinking through it, talking to my team, I've also noticed my team's changing. Like Melissa has signed up so many coaches. Mariah last week signed up a coach and a challenger within like a short period of time, like finally starting to believe in themselves. And so get uncomfortable and like start doing things that maybe other people are doing. And even if you're by yourself, like I was like literally, wow, I know my coaches will be there. Then I'm like, maybe they'll be there. We have this call going on also tonight. It's a lot, but at the same time, I feel like my confidence has boosted so much in the last hour and a half that like you guys can all do the same thing. And literally it was learning from another coach, like when we can share that stuff. So very powerful though. And I appreciate Megan I know she's not on this call. At least I didn't see her on this call, but like I took a principle she trained us on, right? And used it. And so try it. It can't hurt to try it and tweak what I did. Like I tweak what Megan did. So maybe, take what we did and tweak it differently to like speak to you. But yes, very powerful.
Absolutely. I agree. I just did the same thing and I'll be doing one Friday with my team. We're doing like a happy hour, what is coaching? So I just said, stop what you're doing, stop inviting to challenge groups, stop inviting to everything, just invite like a boss for the next 48 hours to this coaching call. And like you said, maybe 3 people will be on it, maybe not. That's okay, but it gets you out of your comfort zone, it plants seeds. And I did have some people already say, I'll watch the recording. So with that being said, I will take your PowerPoint so I can tweak it to make it my own. So thank you. Well, I'm going to do something right now. I don't know if she'll do it, but I think that she should. She is not showing her face, and I think I'm going to force her to get uncomfortable and put on her video. I would love Tara to end this call and say a few words. The reason why we're all here is because of her vision and her dream initially. And there she is. Thank you, girl. Let's unmute this lady.
Hey, ladies. I look like, oh my gosh, I need to go to the salon like many of us, like everyone out there. Okay, so I just got super pumped up listening to you guys speak. And I just want to say, if you're not getting out of your comfort zone, like these ladies are saying, if you're not doing that every single day, your business will never move. When you grow a business, when you build a business any which way, any kind of business, you're doing things that aren't comfortable. You're doing things that are just like different from anything you've done before. And the best way to build your team is to have something to invite to, and have it like what Amy said. If you don't invite to it, no one's going to be on there. So it's like you almost, it pushes you to invite to things. Have a challenge. If you're struggling with bringing people on for a challenge group, start a new one every month. That way you give yourself a week to invite to that, like to really gung-ho invite. If you're not adding to your team, have something every month where you have something to invite to. You have to do these things. And maybe it means that you're making yourself a calendar, and that's what you're following. That's what we did in the beginning. And we would have every month, the same week we were doing the sneak peek or a call or a Zoom. And the same week we were doing, and another week during that month, we were starting a challenge group. And it really keeps things in order, and you know what you're doing, you know what you're inviting to, and you're always going to go crazy to fill that group or fill that Zoom call. But I love how you guys are on fire. It's like you're using this season to grow your business. Like I have random people reaching out to me like, I'm so sick of myself right now and I need to do something. This is the time to grow. If you have a rank advancement that you want to hit, this is the time. This is the time. And I know we're all in the same boat. We're homeschooling. We're like running around like crazy people because of our children, but so is everyone else. And that's the best time to grow your business, when you're busy. So I'm just proud of you guys. I know we're going to see explosion this month, just like last month. I mean, people, if you're like struggling to hit that end goal of Success Club, we still have one more day tomorrow. So don't give up. People will join. You just have to do it. You just have to go balls to the wall and get yourself out there, and not be afraid to invite those people that you are afraid that they would judge you. Go invite those people first. Because you'll be surprised that a lot of them are living in hell. They're living in their own mind. They're very upset with the way how far they've gotten in what they're eating. And they're going to be very thankful that you reached out to them. I promise you guys, a lot of people are very depressed and living, just trying to get through the day. They're barely surviving, and you can be the answer to a prayer. Seriously, it's really sad, but you can't. I mean, it's sad that we're living in this state right now, but you can be the light in their life. And I just want to encourage you guys to go out there and do that. Be the light in people's life. Give them something that is beautiful, that has changed your life. And let's make April. What month are we in? Are we in April? May? Let's finish off April and make May amazing, even better than before, and hit our rank advanced goals.
Thank you, girl.
Guys, you inspire me. All you leaders, all you girls on here.
All right, ladies, if there's no other questions, again, we want to thank you for your time, being a part of this, and looking back at all your faces makes me want to run through walls. And I know it makes all of you want to run through walls. So let's go get some bruises. I'm assuming we'll probably hook up next Wednesday too at 8 p.m., right? So if you have anything that wants to be covered, any topic, any question, something small, something big, doesn't matter, just put it in our thread, reach out to one of us and say, can you please cover this? And we would be happy to do that. Okay? So you guys have a great night. Thank you to everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.